Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. I am Striker. That is Reese. What's going on, my man?
What's up, guy? How are you?
Good, good. We got some heavy hitters on the show tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah, we got.
I wouldn't mess with them, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. We had one of the guys that's on tonight. We had him on a few times already, but we won't give that away just yet. But before we get started, tonight's show is brought to you by Moo Arcade Games, custom-made arcade games and other amusements. 918 Chestnut Street in Johnstown. Phone number is 814-244-2836. And I can't believe I got through it again without getting tongue-tied. That's like at least 3 in a row.
Well, I said it in my head, and I said Moo Echo.
See, it's not easy to say it at times. But without any further ado, Reese, let's bring on the heavy hitters. You know, they are known as Team Tap Out, Full Contact Chris Coleman, and Mr. Tap Out Donnie. What's up, fellas?
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Good. How we doing tonight?
Good, good. Welcome to the show, Donnie. This is your first time being on Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. And Chris, I can't count how many times you've been on.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to start getting your tax ID number and getting you for taxes. So what's going on, boys? How's everything going?
Working, grinding, training.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Much the same, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chris, you know how this goes. We're going to ask some questions, and some you can answer. Some, if you don't want to answer, just tell us the whatever. Donnie, take it easy on us.
You got it.
All right, because I know yous are two of the strongest men I've ever met in my life. Well, besides myself, two other ones. But anyway, all right, let's get it started. So, how did Team Tap Out get started, and how did you decide on the name Team Tap Out?
You want to start off, Chris?
No, you can go ahead and take this one.
Okay, we used to train in a little garage gym up on 119 where Bubba's wrestling ring was. And we'd work out and practice in there. And, it just kind of came together because we started doing submission stuff together as far as learning some jiu-jitsu with Jonas Cavalier. And we were big fans of MMA and old school fighters as far as like Mark Coleman and whatnot. So, and I really dived into the submission game. So that's pretty much how it came together right there.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. So, Donnie, so when you got into wrestling, where did you train at? Who trained you?
Well, I trained with APWF primarily because I was security when back in the 2000s for APWF. So I always had access to the ring and working with the guys. And then Ben Benamidi had a lot to do with it. And, of course, Bubba was the main opening for that.
Oh, okay. All right. And I guess so. So how many matches do you think these guys had together as Team Tap Out? Guesstimation.
Probably near 100.
Yeah, it's safe.
Who was your first match against?
Barbell Mafia, I believe.
That right.
Scott Fowler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scott Fowler and who else?
Zubov. He was teaming with Zubov.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I remember. So who else was in Barbell Mafia? McGrath.
Calvin McGrath. Yeah.
And one.
What's that?
Wasn't there one other guy in Barbell Mafia?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's really taking it back, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Wow. Crazy. So, if you had, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Reese asked you who your first match was. Who was your last match?
Our
you
last
had
match
together?
in the tag team.
Yes.
That would be the Russian Destroyer and Bulldozer.
Oh, okay. And where was that at?
That was in Hastings.
Oh, okay. And that was for which Fed?
DCW.
ECW. That'd be Troy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. I was at one of those shows with who was there? The Stone Cold Steve Austin look-alike.
Even
Oh,
colder
yeah.
Mike Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And what the biggest thing that I remember from that show was there was a guy sitting behind us that had those. You remember the windbreaker pants? He had
Yep.
windbreaker pants on and he had cowboy boots on. I'll never forget it ever in my life. I could have sworn I was in Wimber somewhere.
Well, there's a lot of them characters here.
Oh man. So if you had a match today, who would you want to be in that match with?
It'd have to be the Rad Boys or Money Shot.
Oh, two very good teams.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind thumping around Lucio and that other fella he's running with.
Eric Enders, man.
Enders, yeah.
Yeah,
I could
he's
have
very
fun.
popular.
Yeah,
I could have fun with him.
I mean, I would definitely now, especially now that they're now that Duke is back, I wouldn't mind a match with TME.
Oh, Duke is back.
He is back? Okay, that's nice.
Oh, he's definitely back?
I think so. I thought I'd seen him. I thought I saw him advertised on somebody's flyer. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think, was it Revenge or somewhere up in Erie?
Yes, that might have been it.
Okay, I did see that. I saw that too.
That's
Yeah,
good
but
to hear.
now that Duke's back, I really wouldn't mind a match with TME if that could happen.
Yeah, that would be good stuff.
So, Donnie, do you think you still have it in you? One more match.
Yes.
All right. You didn't hesitate there, so you must be ready.
Ready? Theoretically, yeah.
So, obviously,
Preferably.
you're physically ready. Mentally, what about
I'll say
mentally?
I'm on my way. Mentally, more than anything. I got some work to put in,
All right. Very cool.
So, what was your? I'm assuming that your like finishing move was a submission move.
Yes.
So what was like the go-to like submission move or like double team moves that you guys had or anything?
Well, we had the Kata Hajime. Well, that's what I use that, the transmission. And, I'd throw in a sharpshooter here and there or label lock, crippler crossface, stuff like that, just to change it up.
Oh.
As far as double team moves, if you talking about finishers or shine moves?
Either or.
All right, on the shine, we had a spot where I'd go off the ropes, jump up on Chris's shoulders, he'd prop me up, and do the backflip onto the opponent.
Oh, nice.
And as far as finishers, we had what we called the T2, which was a low leg sweep and a big boot. And then we had blunt force trauma, which was mafia kick into a big boot.
I like
Nice.
I like that name.
I saw the video you posted somewhere of you doing the clothesline on somebody.
Yeah, that was CJ Sensation.
That was CJ Sensation, yeah.
Is that who that was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was CJ, yeah.
Okay.
Was that like a clothesline from hell, or?
Not really. It was just a pretty good line, and plus he just sold it good. So
Yeah, it looked pretty brutal. Oh man. So, Chris, I know you got stories for days.
Okay.
Donnie. So how about you telling us one story, whether it's funny or whatever you want to tell, of you and Chris together on the road or in a match or in the locker room, whatever.
okay, yeah, I got you on this. We had this fella in the locker room he was a big guy, and he wouldn't listen to Chris because Chris was doing a lot of training. So he would do peculiar things before the show. So he's running the Russian gimmick. So Troy pulls in this guy named Sarge, and they're going to work together. And I go up and I grab Sarge. I'm like, Sarge, hey, when he's talking through the match, he likes to get real close. And the first thing he's going to do is tie up. He's going to put you in a rear waist lock, and then he's going to pull you in real close. Well, that's because he's a little bit funny, okay? Meanwhile, fast forward. They're over there talking through his match. Sarge looks over. I nodded to him. And what do you know? He goes, tie up, does rear waist lock, pulls him into his hips, and he's got a look of terror on his face. I look at him and go, told you. But that goes much further. Chris and the other guys took that talk to, like, it got the Jay Lethal at a fairground show. I don't know how that worked out, but it carried on for a few counties. Hey, he's a little bit funny. He's going to rear waist lock you, pull you in.
Chris, you have a funny story you want to share with us?
Let's see. Funny stories. Well, same guy. We had just wrestled a show for Rocky Reynolds up at the Crawford County Fair.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we had done a battle royal in the rodeo arena. So you get dumped out to the floor and you're in the sawdust and the dirt and smell like crap. So the next week we're in Oil City. Guy starts pulling his stuff out of his bag and sawdust is falling off of it.
And it's stunk.
We're like, did you not wash your gear this week? He's like, well, I didn't have time. I'm like, no, absolutely not. So he walked off to say hi to the rest of the boys or whatever. We grabbed a can of Axe body spray off of somebody and proceeded to just hose the inside of his bag with it.
And car air fresheners in the pockets.
Yeah, we were sticking car air fresheners in the pockets and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
We're like, funny. Dude, you got to wash your gear. Like, that's not cool.
Then it smelled like a big vomit bus.
So you said you had, close to 100 matches or so.
Probably, yeah.
So who was the best tag team the Yins faced, and who was the worst?
I would have to say, as far as best tag team we ever wrestled, I feel like the Wrong Crowd was probably the best.
Yeah, the Wrong Crowd was, yeah.
You know,
who was that?
That was Paul Atlas and Brian Anthony.
Oh, okay. All right. And now how about the worst? If you don't want to give names, you don't have to give names.
That's all right. They're not in the business anymore. I think one of them is, and the other one he's in the business. But I think TV Casualties was probably one of the worst, it was roughest. But there was another team there too. You remember the kid you kicked the face paint off his head? And you told me I'm stiff.
Oh yeah. You are. So I cannot remember either of those kids' names, but
yeah, they were fly by night team. I don't think they lasted.
They were a couple of guys. And the TV Casualties were
green.
They were super green. So You know, and one of the guys was kind of limited in what he could do. So it
But
made
they were
for-
great guys.
Yeah, two super solid guys. It's just they were harder to work because they didn't know.
Okay.
Did you guys win any championships?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, we won tag team championships on 5 separate occasions.
Very nice. And what feds were these for?
APWF, DCW, and RWA.
Nice. Very cool. So I'm going to give you the list of names, and we're going to do a little bit of rapid fire. And the first thing that comes to the top of your head, just go ahead and blurt it out. All right. FTR.
Best.
Best.
The Usos.
Second best.
Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I like that. How about the Road Warriors?
greatest.
Greatest of all time.
Even better than FTR.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what you're saying is the best and the greatest is two different things.
Yes.
All right.
Jesus.
How about
I'm sorry.
well, you know, when he said the best for FTR, I just assumed that was the best ever. But then you get greatest. You know.
I know what he was thinking there, and I was thinking the same thing. Right now, out there, FTR is the best tag team currently working right now.
Right.
Yes.
And it's obviously from 2 separate eras too.
Yeah.
All right, and then how about the Briscoe brothers?
Let me see. Trying to come up with the right word for these guys.
I'm going to go with missed opportunity.
I'd
There you
have
go.
to agree there. Yeah.
All right,
What
and
about
Donnie, maybe you can help me with this one. Who's your least favorite wrestler in WWE?
Right now, he's not a wrestler.
Well, entertainer.
He doesn't entertain me either. Logan Paul.
So, so I had to get you to say it. So, what would
I know
your first thought on Logan Paul?
Overhyped.
So, what you're saying is you don't miss him when he's gone?
No. No. I miss the flu more, and I don't like having the flu.
Reese, did you have any for the guys?
yeah? What about Team Tap Out?
What about it?
You just word association? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Word association.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. That's the best way to state it right there. It's what it was. That's what it is. It's pretty simple.
Very cool. That's
He
out
said
of all the tag team, we talked to a few different tag teams, and each time never did one of them say anything like brotherhood or family or anything like that. It was they described themselves as charismatic or so, but brotherhood. I mean, I know you two are best friends in real life and stuff, but that's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would, and I wouldn't have described either one of us as terribly charismatic.
No. No, I had that Malenko stare going for me.
So, Donnie, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Growing up, oh man, I've had transitions through there. It was Bruno, then Jimmy Snuka, then Bob Backlund for a while because he brought wrestlers on and actually got me to see folk style wrestling one time. And over the years it's changed a little bit here and there, up through Taz and a little bit of Stone Cold, and Bryan Danielson, guys like that.
Okay. And did you grow up in Indiana County where you are now?
Outside of Indiana, I'm actually from the countryside here towards originally around Chambersville area, then like Marion Center, Sonoma, Dixonville.
Okay, so you had Saturday morning wrestling growing up also.
Yes, I did, and I'd also stay up late nights to catch any wrestling I could, like PWX, and I forget what the one Harlem Heat was in. That was when they were called the Ebony Express.
Huh. So you mentioned PWX. Did they have a TV slot?
They did a long time ago. I don't know about now.
Oh, okay. Huh. So, you mentioned PWX. Chris, you know who one of their champions are?
I have no idea.
Loverboy Lou.
What?
I just saw it on their page.
I like Lou as a person. I never had a crossword with Lou ever. I used to pick him up some weekends. I would be going up to KCW training or whatever, and he'd be walking to the training building. So I'd pick him up on the way. We had conversations. I like Lou as a person. It's just, as a worker, he's another one of those guys that is somewhat limited.
Right. I remember the many faces of Lou one night at KCW.
Yeah,
that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yep, I've wrestled a couple of the faces of Lou over the years.
Someone said everyone beat up Lou. Lou was a good guy.
Ultimate Warrior Lou.
Lou was a good guy. Yeah. He still is, I'm sure.
Didn't he do Stone Cold Lou too? I believe
he did. He did Ultimate Lou. He did Lou. He did Lou Dust. He did Optimus Lou. He did.
What about Lou Berg?
I think he did Lou Berg. He did Lou Paterno when we were in State College. He did. I wrestled him as the Great Pumpkin Lou. Let me think. Lou the Cable Guy and a couple of others.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. So, Chris and Donnie. So, if you was to have your own wrestling federation and everything, who would be 3 guys that you would base your base it off of? It could be anybody in the indies or in the big leagues. Who would you build around the 3 people?
First one, big time Bill Collier. Bottom line.
Yeah.
First.
So then you need a guy for him to wrestle. So I mean, you look at a guy like Spencer Slade or Alexander Hammerstone from MLW.
I would go with
like where this is going.
And
give something new and fresh.
Yeah, you need you need 3. If you need 3 guys to start a federation on, you could do worse.
Right.
Yeah.
So
what if you're
go ahead, Donnie.
No, I'd rather pick a team instead of a third guy. Pick a team as a third representative.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd pick the Rad Boys, hands down.
Do you want to pick a tag team too, Chris?
I mean, yeah. Again, you're looking at solid tag teams out there. You'd be hard pressed to find one as good as Money Shot.
Right there.
Yeah.
There's your program.
Now, all right. So Yin's all picked, indie guys. So how about one guy from the WWE, AEW, or whatever? I know you picked Hammerstone, but most of the other ones you picked were indie guys.
Let's see.
So are we looking at kind of a foundation guy, or are we looking at looking to the future?
Either or, it's totally up to you. It's your Fed.
Okay. So if we're building a foundation cornerstone guy, a guy that he might not have it in the ring for very many years, but he can be a good voice. You look at a guy like Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the best guys to lace him up.
And how about you, Donnie?
I like the Randy thought, but also I think LA Knight would be a good asset.
I am surprised that nobody took Roman Reigns.
Already established. He's already got his thing going. He doesn't need another big cornerstone push.
All right. Reese, do you have anything else?
What about on the women's side?
Okay. So
It could be,
obviously, obviously you look at your Rhea Ripley's and your Charlotte Flair's. I honestly I don't get to watch too much AEW, to be honest. I couldn't tell you much about their women's division, but I mean what I've seen of Chris Statlander, she's very, very good.
Yeah.
There's some really, really good potential cornerstone talents out there.
Right. And I'm a Statlander fan.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't see it, but I got her on my wall right now. Very cool. All right, so we're going to get into some random questions.
Okay.
So, Donnie, you go out to eat on a Friday night. You want some wings. What's your favorite go-to wing spot?
Ooh.
Wing spot and flavor.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot wing no matter where I go. To tell you the truth, I haven't been out for wings for a while. Raindrop has some good wings.
And where's that at?
Out towards Punxsutawney Marion Center.
Oh, okay.
At least they did back in a while back. It's all reestablished now, but those are some really good wings.
All right. And Chris, I think we already asked you this question, so I'm not going to ask you that again.
Okay.
But I got a really odd off the wall question.
Okay.
And if you watched our other Hey Guy podcast the other day, I asked the guys this question. You're going out on a town Friday night.
Okay.
What is your go-to cologne that you're going to put on to smell good for the women?
Go-to cologne. So you're looking at something like Valentino, Born in Roma.
It sounds expensive.
It could be. Or Nautica Voyage smells really good. So something along those lines.
All right. How about you, Donnie?
Oh boy. I don't have to wear that stuff anymore.
Well,
except when I get out of the gym.
I understand that, but let's say 18-year-old Donnie.
Okay. Aqua di Gio.
Okay. All right, Reese, you got a question for them? Off the wall question?
Mm.
Come on, Reese.
Give me a second here.
Hey, where's JJ tonight?
Yeah, let's ask
He
you
is
that
work-
question. Where's JJ?
He's working.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, he's working.
So obviously, work was more important than coming on and talking with us.
That's exactly what I said, and he said, "There's nothing I can do, guy." I said, "Well, they're gonna come. They're gonna come get you."
Yeah, send our regards to him. I said it's good to see another Taz fan.
Yeah, yeah. He was gonna try and pop on for a minute or two and say hi to his guys, but he said he's just too busy. He can't do it. So
No worries.
Can't squeak out a minute for an old friend. I see how he is.
it's right. See,
Who is your favorite MMA fighter of all time?
oh, good one.
Chris, go ahead.
Mark the Hammer Coleman.
For me, it's got to be Dan Henderson. But it's really close because there's also Donnie Predator Fry from the old school.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I was also a tremendous fan of Big Daddy Gary Goodridge.
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
Oh, he has one of the craziest highlights in the original first few UFCs. He catches a guy in a crucifix, so he's got one of his arms pinned with his legs. He laces the arm, traps the other arm, and proceeds to start dropping 12 o'clock elbows on the side of this guy's face. He gets about 6 of them in before the referee goes, "Oh shit, he's going to kill him," and dives in there to break it up. But yeah, Gary Goodridge, and he had one of those like super cool sounding like intros. You know, he had Michael Buffer when he was announced. Bruce Buffer.
Oh, okay.
When he was announced, Gary Goodridge, he would always say he was 260 pounds of solid steel and sex appeal.
So we have a question from somebody on Facebook. They say, "What's your favorite hamburger?"
Or what would you put on a burger?
Tons of pickles.
My favorite fast food burger is Burger King's fast food burgers are really good. If it's a sit down place, Denny's Beer Barrel up in it's north of Punxsutawney there. I can't think of the name of the town, but Denny's Beer Barrel.
I heard of it.
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Red Robin. They had a pretty good burger last time I was there, and Size got pretty good burgers. Size is out this way, going towards Punxsutawney.
Oh, okay.
What's yours, Larry?
Oh, mine is fast food is I gotta go with Chris, Burger King.
Yeah.
I mean it's obvious. I'm a big pickle guy, but Burger King has the best pickles on their hamburgers.
Yeah.
The best. So, before we let yins guys go, do yins have anything that yins want to plug?
Good, Donnie.
I don't have anything off the top of my head, but thanks for having us on. It's always fun to talk to you guys. Anytime you need anything, let me know. I'll plug Bubba's podcast, plug your podcast. Let's get some listeners going for you. Let's put on some good shows. If you need something in the future, let us know and we'll do it, Especially if you need me to give you actual hard time, I can do that too.
How about you, Chris?
Obviously, the Triple B Experience podcast, you can see Larry and Donnie and myself, doing the wrestling picks and all that good stuff. But then also Imagine Wrestling, August the 12th. We're at the Juniata Civics Association building in Altoona. I myself am wrestling Jimmy the High Flying Hippie in a number 1 contenders match for the Imagine Heavyweight title.
Oh, very cool. That's going to be a must-see match.
Yep, we're gonna tear the house down. I'm sure of it.
Wow. Oh, that's guaranteed. Guaranteed. And I sure as hell hope that it's going to be a lot cooler come that day, because I didn't come to the last show because it was 90 degrees.
That building gets quite warm when it's bell time.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I love watching you guys, but I'm not putting myself in that hot box for 2.5 hours. It's horrible.
Oh yeah, we can go out there and kill ourselves performing and putting on matches for you, but you can't be bothered to sit there and watch.
Maybe if you got a pickle on talk to the powers that be and have a pickle on a pole match. Larry will enter it.
He'll be there.
I was there last year. I was there last year for a show. It was so hot in there. I was sweating in places I didn't know I could sweat. And I vowed I will never ever go if it's going to be that hot. But now that you're threatening me, Coleman, I may just have to do it. I may have to suck it up and do it.
Did I threaten anyone? I didn't threaten anyone.
I didn't hear anything.
I merely said, it's kind of a double standard. I can lose 8 pounds going out and wrestling in front of you, but you can't just sit and drink a cold soda and watch me. I don't. That seems unfair to me, Larry. It does.
I see the injustice in this.
I can't say that you're wrong, Chris. And I get, you got nothing but my respect. But when it comes to me in 90 degrees and sweating and having swamp ass, I don't know if I want to risk that.
No risk, no reward.
Well, yeah, you can't afford to, swamp up the seats in the Uber guy mobile. Yeah.
Right? See, now you're catching on. Now you're catching on.
Was that the
show
the Rad Boys jumped off the concession stand?
I honestly can't remember what day or when it was, but I just remembered I was sweating in places I didn't know that I could sweat.
That was last summer, I think. But Braden Elliott has a supernatural ability to find a high vantage point to jump off of in any building he's in.
Yeah.
Like he goes into the building doing this. Where's the tallest thing I can jump off of? Let me see this. I'm gonna get somebody. You watch.
All right, guys. One last thing. If you just want to cut a real quick 15, 20-second promo about being on tonight's podcast, go ahead and do it.
All right, Chris, you go first.
All right, this is Full Contact, the world beater, Chris Coleman, and we're on the Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk podcast, the best pro wrestling podcast, well, maybe second best in Pennsylvania. Tell them, Tap Out.
All right, listen up. Catch Extreme Pro Wrestling Podcast for good news, good talk, and a good time, and some real intense people on here.
And JJ.
Yeah. And JJ, yes, and JJ.
And main event JJ.
Very cool, guys. We appreciate you just coming on.
Oh, thanks for
having us.
Absolutely. I love talking to you guys, and we're on Bubba's podcast every once in a while together, and it's just as fun being on his podcast as it is being on here, and listening to Bubba. Bubba can go for hours. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. And Bubba is he's doing a lot of great things. He's a passionate guy, and he's doing a hell of a lot of good. He absolutely is, and I'm glad to see it. And hard work pays off, and it's starting to pay off for him.
Yeah. And, here's a little bit of information Chris probably knows. Bubba was my actual first match.
I do know that.
Oh, okay.
At the Indiana Fairgrounds, where I now live across from.
Oh, wow.
That comes full circle.
Yep,
That's cool.
it's pretty unique. And to catch real quick side story, and I'm trying to get off here. My fondest memories when I sat with my dad and my grandpa Fulmer setting up in those stands watching wrestling. I seated myself as close as I can remember in that seat before I hit the stage and crossed the fence to the ring. So that's how nostalgic and far back it goes, and what, kind of what Bubba means to me, right? As far as getting started and doing that. So
very cool.
It's not a real common story, but it's a good one.
Absolutely. And is like I was saying, we appreciate you taking time out. And Chris, I know you're as soon as you get off here, you're gonna go get some Burger King with some extra pickles. Just because, and make sure you tell them that I told you I told you you wanted extra pickles from Burger King.
Right. The King said extra pickles, and they'll know.
That's right. They'll absolutely know. But guys, again, appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys soon. And we would love to have you on again in the future.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Awesome. All right, guys, that is it for Team Tap Out. So we're going to let them go. We'll see you later, guys. You just can stay on in the green room until the end. We'll probably be there in about 1 minute, and we can chat off of camera.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks. All right, Reese. So there you go. Team Tap Out. Donnie and Chris telling us some good stories. And, it's always good when we talk about pickles on a wrestling fucking podcast. Pickles everywhere. Fucking pickles.
That's cool. I like that they're the submission tag team. Kind of think
right.
That's like a lost part of wrestling.
And I don't, a lot of people that are watching probably know Chris and Donnie and see Chris, wrestling and Imagine now. But literally, when I tell you these are probably the two toughest, strongest fucking guys I've ever seen in the wrestling ring. I'm not lying. They are the strongest guys I've ever met. One of the strongest guys I've ever met.
If I ever got into a situation, I'd want them on my side instead of on the other side.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not. Yeah. Why do you think I'm so nice to Chris and Donnie? You think I want them to beat the shit out and chop the shit out of me? Hell no.
You got something coming from Coleman.
I do. A jar of pickles. A jar of pickles. Anyway, that's it for Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. Everybody have a good night. Top guys out. Have a good night.
Goodbye. And good night.